Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What the Smart Book Reviews. I'm your host Candace. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. In today's bullshit video, we will not be reviewing a book. Mostly because I don't have one to review. So, I noticed in scrolling through my channel recently, just looking at the accumulation of videos that I've done, I noticed that I had a video a while back that was basically like a breakdown video, informative, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Candace, how can you give us information on anything when you don't have your shit together? The internet. I did research for that video. I did almost as much research for this video. So, in the video that I'm describing, it was a video that covered and explained commonly used acronyms and abbreviations within Romancelandia, which is basically what, romance readers call the universe that we live in, right? The online universe. Twitter, Instagram, Bookstagram, Booktube, Book Twitter, and now Book Talk, which we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that because I made a TikTok, but I don't know how to use it. And every time I open the app, I get enraged. We'll circle back. We're going to circle back to that. But the video that I put up was basically that, abbreviations, commonly used abbreviations you might see online and that might be kind of confusing for you. In that video, I explained a handful. If you ask me which ones I broke down, I don't remember. So I have another massive list that I'm picking and choosing from. Will I give you the same definition of something that I already covered in the other video? I don't know. But when I was scrolling and I saw that video, I thought, okay, it has a good number of views on it. Obviously, people need help like me because they're inept when it comes to social media. And yeah. So I also noticed that in the title of the video that I uploaded, I put part 1. Meaning that I meant to come back at some point and do more. And I just didn't. Which, if you know anything about me, you'll know that that's kind of par for the course for me. I don't know anything about golf. I just know that phrase. I do that all the time. I start something and then I just don't finish it. Speaking of, we're gonna come back to this because I've been toying with the idea of doing a video where I list all the books that were part of a series that I started reading and then I just fell off of reading the series. There's quite a few of them. And I feel terrible about it because I know the authors are thinking to themselves okay, why aren't you continuing with my stuff? But it's not because I didn't like it. It's just because in trying to keep the channel varied, I've been bouncing around and to be honest, I've overwhelmed myself by starting 50 different series and I've confused myself. So what I've been trying to do is complete 1 to 2 series. I don't know why that's so difficult for me to say. Series. I want to add the extras. And just bang them out, pause, just to get rid of them so that I can complete some of the other ones. So if you are a longtime viewer, I know 2 or 3 of you maybe, then you'll notice that that's what I'm doing right now. Every other video is a Lords of the Underworld video or every other video is an Immortals After Dark video. And there's a reason for that, and I just said that reason, so. Right? Are we here? But one of the series thing that I've taken to delving into is a massive series. It is young adult, but there is sex, so I still consider it like part of the realm, you know what I mean? And there's love story, like the core of it is like a romance. So and that's Jennifer L. Armentrout's Blood and Ash series. If you guys are familiar with that series, you will know that each one of the books that have come out, and I believe so far there have been 3, is 600 plus pages. And getting me to read a 300-page novel is like a feat lately, because I've just been so reading 600 pages novels, I'm doing my best. So without further ado, this video will be a follow-up, part 2 of the commonly used acronyms and phrases and abbreviations within the publishing world, aka Romancelandia, aka whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I have a massive list. Sorry for the shakeage. I printed out. You know what's hilarious? I have a laptop sitting right in front of me. And I could just pull out my laptop and like pull up the list and just read it from there, but I guess I just like ruining the environment, so I keep printing out. As if I'm an organized person, this is what I do. I print it out and I'm like, it's on paper and I've got my shit together and now I can do. It's a ruse. Okay, so I have several massive lists here, like several page, like 7-8 pages. I also have a second one, which is like just acronyms, I think. Like just, yeah, it doesn't really give, well, it gives the definition, but it's like when you see just letters, just like rando letters that don't make any sense. It doesn't create a word or anything. This list over here has actual phrases. This list is just like HEA. You know what I'm saying? Like those kind of things. So 8 minutes in, and I haven't said anything about anything. So let's get into it, okay? I have picked and chosen which ones I want to cover in today's video. I'm not going to do all of them because that would take forever. And a lot of them, I don't know if they're actually a real thing because I've never in my life heard of any of these things. Browsing the Twitterverse or browsing the Instagramverse. So I don't know if they're a thing, and I don't want to throw a term at you that's not commonly used and you be like, why do I need to know this? I'll never see this again, ever. So I picked and chose the ones that I thought were most commonly used or that I have seen and are pretty prevalent online. So if you're confused in any way, you came to the wrong place for help. I'm sorry. It's true, but I'm sorry. Okay, so you may have seen in a lot of coming of age novels, a lot of like college romance novels, a lot of like high school bully romance, you'll see a term called angst, which refers to, in an angsty book, the main characters are put through the ringer emotionally. They might be dealing with painful issues. And if it's a romance, it might be a tumultuous relationship with a lot of back and forth and heartache, but still have a happy ending. So the term angst in that regard basically refers to if the two main characters go through a lot together, like emotional trauma. You know what I mean? The next one is AOC. And this one was kind of new for me, only because I don't know if maybe because of the books that I have read in the past, books or authors that are recommended to me, whether it be by like a Facebook algorithm or whatever, are all white authors, female, male, whatever. But I have been trying to branch out and want to start reading more books that are written by Black authors or people of color, which is what POC stands for, people of color. So I don't know why I said POC when the term I just said was AOC. AOC, that's what AOC stands for, is authors of color. So if you see that term, that's what that means. Okay? So if you're looking for a book that's written by a non-white individual, you may see that term floating around. Auto buy, which is one that I have seen. And auto buy is an author whose book you buy without reading the reviews or an excerpt because you know it'll be good. I have several authors that I do that for. Cresley Cole, girl. Gina Showalter, which everyone on this channel, if you've watched more than even one of my videos, you'll know that I'm completely obsessed with both of those authors. Nora Roberts is another good one. Like I see a new Nora Roberts book and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't even know what it's about. Just give it to me. I'm just gonna buy it. Beta reader or beta/beta reader. Okay. So, a test reader who reads an early draft of a manuscript and provides feedback to help the author revise it before publication. Okay. This is not the same thing as receiving an ARC. An ARC, A-R-C, is an advanced reader copy. So you are a reader and you are receiving a copy of the book early before its publication date. You could be a blogger, you could be someone like me, but obviously someone who has a following of some kind behind them. A beta reader is someone that the author trusts enough to give them a copy of the book that's still in progress, which is another term, WIP, which is work in progress, you may see floating around. And they want feedback on what you liked about the book, what you didn't like, what you want, what you think should be changed or what really didn't make a lot of sense. They want that from you. It could be in terms of a review, or it could come in the guise of a review, but I think it's more important than that. I think it's more along the lines of like actual notes on, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Am I making any sense? But yeah, so that's what a beta reader is versus just an average reader who happens to get a copy of an advanced reader copy of the book before it hits publication, right? Blurb. I think all of us know what a blurb is. It could also be called a synopsis. It could also be called, I thought I had another one and I don't. I think maybe I've only heard those two. But a blurb is essentially the description of a book that you'll find on the back of a paperback or on a retailer's book page. So, for example, Amazon. If you go to Amazon and you look up a book, it will have a general, like, short little synopsis of what the book is about. And that is the same thing as a blurb. Okay. Book birthday. I think I may have mentioned this one in my last video, but I'm not positive. So, if I did, you can fast forward through this part. Book birthday is the release/publication date of a book. So basically, the date that the book is available to the masses, essentially, right? You probably see that a lot on like Twitter and Instagram. On release day, which normally for books is Tuesdays, you'll see like a lot of posts that are like, happy book birthday, happy release day, happy whatever to this author because their book went live today. That's a book birthday, okay? Bookstagram, the community of book bloggers, reviewers, and readers on Instagram who post book-related pictures. I do have a book-related Instagram, so I am also a bookstagrammer, in addition to being a booktuber and a book twitterer. And soon to be a book talk, because I'm not too old for TikTok. Who said that? I said that like 2 videos ago. Anyway, booktube. Hi, you're in a booktube right now. Did you know that? Did you know? Now you do. The YouTube community of vloggers, reviewers, and readers who create book-related videos such as book reviews, recommendations, book hauls, etc. That's me. That's me. Okay, one page down. It's going to be a 45-minute video. Okay, book Twitter, which is essentially the same thing, except for it takes place on Twitter. And that is the community of vloggers, reviewers, blah, 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 who post about authors and stuff and books on Twitter. Okay? This list has not been updated to add book talk, so I think this might be slightly old. But again, I think a lot of us thought that TikTok would be a passing fancy. But it's apparently become very popular, and I don't like learning new things. So I'm fighting it hardcore. I'm gonna break down eventually. When I figure out how to use it properly, I'm coming for you bitches. I'm just saying. Like, I'll be posting. You don't even know. It's either that or I will completely give up. Delete the app. Delete everything. Can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. The next one is CR. If you see this acronym floating around, it means currently reading. So like you may see that peppered into like a comment or a post on Instagram where it says, I'm currently reading. Okay, what is your CR? What are you currently reading? What book, right? CW, which stands for content warning. Content warning can also be described, like CW could also be described as trigger warning, which you may see also that term prevalent throughout the writing, social media writing community. And that basically is warning you that there are controversial themes within that novel, whether it be rape, murder, incest, sexual assault, physical abuse, right? So, for example, I don't think I really need to give you an example, but for example, in one of those typical mafia romance novels, you have a girl who's been kidnapped by this super hot, super damaged mafia guy, right? Kidnapping, trigger warning. You know what I'm saying? So if the author or bloggers or whoever that are posting about this book think that there are things in there, aside from like your slight cursing and your, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a romance novel. So I don't think a trigger warning is appropriate for books that just because it has sex in it. Are you lost? Did you get here by mistake? When you bought this book, you knew what you were about. You don't need a trigger warning for that. I'm just saying. You might disagree with me, but I'm just saying. That's my opinion. Just because it's got sex and language does not mean that it needs a trigger warning, okay? But yeah, that's what CW means. So content warning / trigger warning / okay. The next one that I circled is first person, and this is the story is told using I pronouns. So if the book is from the POV of the female character and the entire book is written from her point of view, then it's written in the first person. Okay? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. 2 pages down. GR. GR stands for Goodreads. If you're not familiar with Goodreads, Goodreads is a website where you can keep track of books that you're reading. You can put reviews for the books that you have read. It is really, really important to the romance writing community because it does tell people out there what the book is about, what your take on the book was, the author's overall rating according to the masses who have read said novel. It also allows you to keep track of stuff like you can add books to your bookshelf that you want to read and that kind of thing. I do have a Goodreads. I don't use it hardly ever, unfortunately. It's everything I can do to like record these videos and like keep up with my Instagram page. So FYI, if you are wanting to follow me on social media, follow me on Instagram. I post there the most Twitter, I virtually never use. Facebook, I do use my Facebook group, but it's normally only to post like video announcements. I'm very prevalent on Instagram. So if you want, you can follow me on Instagram and keep up with my shenanigans through Instagram. Head hopping is another one, which is the point of view bounces from one character to another within a scene. It's considered a craft problem that can confuse readers, is what the definition says. So I could see where that would be confusing. Like, I have read books where each chapter bounces back and forth between the male character and the female character, which is fine for me. I'm cool with that. Within the same chapter, it bouncing from one POV to the next, I don't know. I think I have read some books that do that, but I don't remember if I was annoyed by it. So the fact that it says like it's a problem, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it has been for me, but for some people, maybe. I don't know. KU stands for Kindle Unlimited, which is a subscription service offered through Amazon. If you have an Amazon Kindle, which is an e-reader, Kindle Unlimited is essentially you pay a certain amount a month. You can pay, I think they have plans, you can pay monthly, every 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And obviously, the longer you subscribe, the cheaper the price, I guess. But not by much. So don't get fooled. Like, you're not going to get like 50% off if you subscribe for a year versus paying month to month. I think you only save like $1 or something. It's not a huge amount. But it's essentially like a virtual library. So you are like checking out books that you can borrow from Kindle Unlimited, download onto your Kindle, read, and then you return it to Amazon. Which essentially wipes it from your Kindle. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kindle Unlimited lets you download 10 books at a time. NA, New Adult. Okay, a category of books in which the protagonist is between 18 and 24. It often revolves around going to college, starting their first job, or the first relationship. I have actually never heard this term before, but I feel like it is something that's out there because it just sounds like it should be out there. For example, Daryl Banner's Read My Lips, which is a book that I reviewed many moons ago, is like one of those coming of age college romance type books. So I think that would probably fall into a category like this. It was bomb, by the way. I fucking love that book. Okay, next. Novella. Okay, so I've talked about this before. I've given you guys my take several times on what I consider to be novella-length novel. Apparently, the actual word count for a novella is between 20,000 and 50,000 words. That's according to this website that I pulled this information from that I don't actually remember the name of right now. So, typical Candace, didn't do your research, but did your research, but not really. So longer than a short story, but not quite novel length. I don't really know in terms of word count what a full-length novel is. Like 70,000 words, maybe 100,000. I don't know. I know in terms of pages what I consider to be full length, which is anything like 300 plus. But I don't know. Anyway, POV, point of view, which you will definitely see that one around. So like you'll see people posting stuff like, I want a book that's mafia related from the POV of the male character or the hero, or in most mafia cases, the anti-hero. But yeah, so that just means from the point of view of the main male character, or the point of view of the main female character. Purple prose, I don't know if that's prose or prose, and I put a question mark next to this one because I've never heard this before in my life, but apparently it's a description that uses an over-the-top flowery language, e.g. using crimson droplets instead of using the word blood. tons of authors. If you're a descriptive, like a really descriptive, which is, I'm going to talk about this in my Arm and Trout, in my Blood and Ash reviews, ridiculously descriptive. Like, so detailed, down to like the most minute thing. But I've never actually heard that there was a term associated with that. Because from what I know, like for a good novel, you want it to be descriptive and you want it to have like that, flowery language is an appropriate thing. But I've read tons of novels that are like that, and I've never heard that term before, so that was new to me. Some of these are new to me, a lot of these are new to me. Rec, R-E-C, recommendation. I'm looking for a book rec, a recommendation. RTC, review to come. I've never written RTC. Even when hinting at future book reviews, I did not know that was a thing. Now I know, so I might start doing that. But I usually just put like sneak peek or something. I don't write like review to come. But a lot of people on Instagram, I think that they do. So if you see that, then you know that that's what that is. The abbreviation SA stands for standalone, a book that isn't part of a series or that can be read and enjoyed on its own without having to have read the other books in the series. That's another point of contention for me. I personally don't believe that a novel can be a standalone novel if it is part of a series. Can you read it and can you enjoy it? Sure. Will a bunch of references and plot points be lost on you? Yes. Don't do that. Don't do it to yourself. If you're going to read a book that's part of a series, start at the beginning and read from the beginning. Even though the Amazon page says it can be read as a standalone, no, don't do it. Okay, so that's page down. We're done with that. I don't know how long I've been recording, like 20 minutes, 40 minutes already. Okay, Shelfie. You'll see this one on Instagram, Twitter, and it is essentially just a photo of your bookcase. So someone will say, took a Shelfie. You're showing off your books and your collection. Okay. TBB, to be bought. And that's just basically the list of books that you intend to buy at some point. TBC, to be continued. I've never actually heard that one before, so that was new to me as well. TBR, okay, TBR I see everywhere. It stands for to be read. I'm pretty sure I covered that in my first video for acronyms, but if not, here you go. To be read. So if someone says my TBR list is getting out of control, it means that their list of books that they expect that they're planning to read is getting like me. It's me. My to be read list is not just a list. My to be read pile is not just a pile. It is piles in multiple locations throughout my whole house. Kitchen table, to be read pile. Top of the computer printer, to be read pile. Slightly smaller, but still there. Every which way on my bookshelf, to be read piles. In my bedroom, on the nightstand, to be read piles. If I actually condensed everything into one, I'd have a to be read mountain. That's why I can't get anything done, because I'm all over the place. Okay, let's see. Third person, a story told using the she or he pronouns. Okay, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Trope. I think I covered this in my last video about acronyms. Trope. What is a trope? I used to see that all over the place, and I thought to myself, what the hell is a trope? What is a trope? A trope is a scenario or basic plot that is common in romance novels. For example, fake relationship. I don't know why they use that example, because I don't know, that's a terrible example. Enemies to lovers. Trope. MC. Trope. The mafia romance, trope. Kidnapping, trope. Okay? It's like a prevalent theme that you see through a lot of different novels, right? Trope. Okay. Sorry I yelled at you guys. Didn't mean to yell at you. Okay. TW, trigger warning, similar to content warning, CW. The last one I have circled on this list. Are you ready for list number 2? There's not that many that I circled on that one either. Is YA, which stands for young adult. A category of books in which the protagonist is a teenager, usually 15 to 18 years old. I don't know if I would agree with that, but I have seen, like, there are a lot of, obviously, young adult novels that do fall into that age bracket. But I've also seen books considered to be young adult if the person is, like, 19. You know what I'm saying? If the plot of the book is very, like, mundane in terms of sexual stuff, and it has a young protagonist, it might be considered young adult. For example, the books I'm currently reading are considered young adult, and I don't know why. I guess again because the characters are, I want to say the characters are at least 18. I can't remember, but yeah. Anyway, young adult. That clears up that list. From the other list that I have, I only circled like 2 or 3 or 5. The first one is H/H. So if you see someone posting online and they use the phrase looking for a book recommendation, want the capital H to be very bossy, very domineering alpha male. Lowercase h to be very meek and submissive and whatever, right? So the HH is usually hero and heroine. Hero, capital H, is the male hero of the book. Little h is the heroine of the book, the female. Yeah. I see that all the time, so that's why I added it to the list. IMO, in my opinion, which you may see sometimes in like a book review or something like that on Goodreads. NYT stands for New York Times. So you may see that when an author is posting that they are a New York Times bestseller. They may just abbreviate it to NYT bestseller. That's all that means. Same thing goes with RT, which is Romantic Times, and RWA, which is Romance Writers of America, which I see that thrown around sometimes too. I have no idea what that is or what it means, but it's like an association of some kind. Could have done more research on that, but I didn't. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for that. If you're interested in a part 3 and you want me to go further out than I have done, including some terms that are more on the ridiculous side or the funny comical side, I can definitely do that. I think there were a few in my first video that were just like ridiculous. Like they were like terms that were like, what? They're meant to be funny. Whether they're prevalently used throughout the social media writing community, I don't know. But I can definitely do a video that contains more of those if you would like. If you would like to see that, put it in the comments below. But that's pretty much all I have for today. I've somehow managed to bullshit my way through half an hour's worth of video. Stay tuned for next week when we will be doing a book review for, what the fuck am I reviewing? A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Will I remember the plot? I don't know, because 600 plus pages. So yeah, if you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell so you get notifications when I upload a new video. You can follow me on social media if you would like. I do have a members only Facebook group, and Instagram, and a Twitter, again, that I don't post on very much. I will link them all in the description box below, and I'll put a little banner here on the screen for you to see right here in the bottom. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I've got for today. I feel like I breezed through this video, but I also feel like I was like most of the time, but maybe that was just to the inside. What else is new? Okay, I love you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for sticking with me for another video. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hi. Look at that hair. Looks so much better on camera than it does in real life. Looking dull and straggly in real life, but don't tell nobody. We're just gonna jump straight into it today because I have no energy whatsoever. And I gotta do something. I gotta come up with something, right? So here I am. I have picked and choosed. If that's changed, I don't know. Somebody's at my door. Hold on. Oh my God, the remote actually stayed connected. I'm so surprised. Okay, sorry, someone rang my doorbell, and to be honest, it creeps me the fuck out. So it's like, if I don't know you and I'm not expecting you, don't come to my house. Maybe it comes from like living in New York for 10 years and just being afraid to open your door all the time. But even now, I don't open my door for strangers. I'm just like peeking out the window very creepily, like, what the fuck is at my house? Okay, back on my ish. One moment, please. Where was I? Kindle Unlimited. Okay, so Kindle Unlimited. I just explained that, right? I think I covered this one in my last... Hold on. I'm bleeding eyeliner. I'm sorry. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know if I'll be able to rip this because it would be so satisfying, but it's like 10 pages. So satisfying. So satisfying. Video done. Video done. Satisfying. Oh boy, you guys. I think I'm starting to, no, you know what? My view count for videos would indicate otherwise. But maybe I'm becoming famous because I got another nasty comment on one of my videos from some unknown stranger out there in the YouTube verse, who essentially said that they could not get over the ridiculousness of this girl, me. That they came to my channel looking for a book review, and all I did was blabber on about nonsense for 40 minutes. And I was like, well, I mean, I could say it was a fluke, but it's not. It's every video. I missed. Half the stuff didn't go in the trash. Hello, nasty YouTube commenter person. If you're watching this, thank you for your nasty comment. I really appreciate it. I did delete it, so because I just don't want that negativity on my page. But I did read it. It did sting a little bit. Do I plan on altering my personality to accommodate you in any way? No. Okay. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I'll see you later.